Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into the massive disconnect in the world of artificial intelligence. Seriously, there's this huge gap between the story you read in the headlines and the actual gritty reality of putting AI to work in a real business. You see the headlines, right? AI is changing everything. But if this tech is so revolutionary, why does it seem like every big company trying to adopt it is moving so slow? Why does it feel so painful and full of friction? What's the holdup? And this, right here, is the heart of the AI paradox. On one side, you've got the market telling this wild story that AI is just going to automate everything. And on the other side, you have the CIOs, the people on the ground who are realizing, whoa, this is way, way harder than it looks. All right, let's dive into this, and we're going to start with the biggest myth of all. This idea that AI is some kind of magic money-printing machine for any company that touches it. So the story on Wall Street is super simple. The idea is that AI agents are going to automate all these complex service jobs. And what does that mean? Well, it means consulting firms like Accenture and Infosys are basically toast, while the tech arms dealers building the AI, like NVIDIA, are going to soar. And you can see this playing out right now in the stock market. I mean, investors are throwing tons of money at the tech builders, rewarding them. But at the same time, they're punishing the companies that actually implement the tech because they assume their whole business model is broken. Now, hold on, because at first glance, the numbers look like they support the AI boom. Look at this. Accenture pulled in a massive $4 billion in AI-specific deals. That's a tenfold increase from the year before. Sounds amazing, right? But here's the kicker. While their AI sales went through the roof, their total new business actually dropped by 6%. So this is the crucial part. AI isn't creating a giant wave of new spending. It's just cannibalizing old IT budgets. Companies are pausing other projects just to fund their new AI experiments. And on top of that, even when these service firms do make an AI sale, they're getting hit with this hidden cost that people are calling the compute tax. Think about it. Every single time an AI writes some code or answers a question, a little slice of that profit goes straight to the tech giants who own the models. That's money that used to stay with the service provider. Okay, so that's the money. Let's move on and talk about the tech itself. Because the second myth is that you can just plug AI into a business and it works. Well, the reality is a long, difficult slog. Yeah, most companies are completely stuck in what's being called pilot purgatory. They're just running these endless little tests because taking this shiny new AI and plugging it into their messy, old, real-world systems, well, it's a nightmare. It's incredibly difficult and super risky. And here's where it gets really interesting. In the real world, AI reliability just collapses, and fast. So let's say an AI agent is 90% accurate at a single task. That sounds pretty good, right? But if it has to do 5 of those tasks in a row, the chance of it getting all 5 right plummets to less than 60%. The errors just stack up. And that's for a simple process. For something really complex, where the AI has to jump between different apps, that success rate just nosedives to about 35%. You just can't run a bank or a hospital or a supply chain on a system that fails almost 2/3 of the time. No way. So all this brings us to what might be the most important piece of the puzzle, the human element. This myth that AI is going to make people obsolete? Well, the reality is it's created a powerful new need for something only a human can provide: accountability. Think about it like this. When a piece of normal software fails, what happens? You get an error message. It's a tech problem. But when a professional service fails, like an accountant makes a big mistake, someone can get sued. It's a legal problem. This is what we're calling the accountability moat. Businesses don't just hire firms to do a job. They hire them to take on the risk. You can't fire an algorithm. You can't drag a large language model into court. You still need a human and a company to stand behind the work and be responsible for what happens. And you know what? Regulators are all over this. New rules, like the big EU AI Act, are demanding human-in-the-loop oversight for any high-stakes AI system. It basically means the AI can support a decision, but a person has to make the final call, period. So, where does this all leave us? Is AI just a giant bubble that's going to pop? Not at all. We're just in this temporary and, pretty difficult phase where reality has to catch up with all that hype. What we're seeing is the classic tech hype cycle in action. We just came off that crazy peak of inflated expectations. Right now, we're in the slog, the trough of disillusionment. But the smart money is predicting a great convergence around 2027. That's when the tools will be better,
the pricing will make sense, and all this hard work will finally start to pay off. So here's the real takeaway from all this. The race isn't about replacing humans. It's about building the best human-machine teams. Services aren't dead. They're transforming. They're becoming the essential human guardrails for this incredibly powerful, but still imperfect technology. The big winners in this new world won't be the companies that replace the most people. They'll be the ones who figure out how to industrialize accountability. Thanks for joining this explainer.